First thing we're going to need to do is a tiny little bit of math. All right, so here's our assumptions. Assumption number one is our RRP. Don't worry, I'm going to bigify this. Bigify. Our RRP of our product is $30, and you should do this for whatever it is for your product too, okay? Our price that we get the product for, let's say that's $5, okay? And our fees that we spend on Amazon, fees and commissions and shit like that, let's say that's $15, all right? Let's say that's $15. So that's our givens. I try to have, when I first do my order, I always have in mind that my goal, weirdly, is to run out of stock. That is my first goal when it comes to ordering my stock. Why the hell do I try and do that? Well, pretty simple. It's because I have learned the very, very hard way that it is much, much better to run out of stock than it is to have hundreds, sometimes thousands of units sitting in FBA not selling. And so what I do now, and what I teach you to do in AOE, is to order a small quantity. Don't order like 1,000 units or something crazy like that for your first order. You want to order much, much less. 100 to 300 at the most. At the most. Even 300 I think is too many. So let's suppose that we've ordered 100 units, all right? So we might just need to downsize this a little bit, otherwise we're going to quickly run out of space. So we've got 100 units times our order cost of $5. That gives us a total investment of $500 into our product, all right? Pretty easy math so far, dead easy. So that's our initial investment into our product, $500 on our stock, okay? And then we're going to put that stock into our store. We're going to sell it, and we're going to have sales of 100 times 30, giving us, how much does that give us, folks? What is 100 multiplied by 30? Product blindness, yes. 3,000. Thank you so much, Athena. So now I've got sales of $3,000, but we've already ascertained that my fees I'm going to pay to Amazon in commissions and FBA costs, the cost of getting the stock into Australia, for instance, from China, all that kind of stuff. That's probably going to eat up half of that, leaving me with $1,500 in actual money that I can reinvest into my thing. Now, here's what happens. That first 100 units of stock that you get will instruct you as to how many sales potentially you're going to make per day. So it will give you valuable information about the potential sales velocity of your product, the daily sales velocity of your product, how many sales you make per day. Pretty easy. So that will then instruct you and give you an insight, because you can just extrapolate that out to see how many units you should order for your next amount of stock. And what I try to have in stock is I try to have 3 months supply in stock. So 90 days supply, 3 months, whatever it is you want to say, that's what I want to have in stock. Okay? So let's take that information and now let's apply it to this. So let's suppose I have discovered that I am selling, I don't know, let's say I make, say, 5 sales per day. Okay, 5 sales per day. 5 sales per day. And my product is going to be, well, the easiest thing to do is just divide your 1,500. No, let's not do it that way. Let's do it the other way. Let's do it a different way to make it easier math for you. So I can now take that 5 sales per day. I'm saying I'm going to have 5 sales per day multiplied by 90 days stock. What's that, folks? 5 times 90. How many is that? You guys got it yet? 450. Yes. So now I know I need to have 450 units in units of stock to make my next order if I want to have 3 months supply worth of order. All right. However, I don't have, because that would give us 450. I hope you guys are keeping up with this, times 5, which is my product cost. So how's that? I don't have that money because what's that? 2,250. I don't have 2,250 to reinvest in stock. I've sold my stock. I've got $1,500 to invest in stock. Okay, so in the first kind of full 90 days I'm going to be selling, I'm only going to be able to order. I'm only going to be able to reinvest my money into my business to the tune of $1,500. So that's all I've got. I actually need, for 90 days supply, I need 2,250. However, I've only got 1,500, so that's only going to give me, say, what's that? 70 days supply of stock, something like that. And you just keep going like that. You just keep going like that. However, there's a very, very important point that I want to stress here. After my first 90 days stock that I order, I always take 10% of my money, my profits that I've got, so this part here, I always take 10% of that and pay myself. No matter what is happening, I always do that. And that is a very, very important thing to do in business, is to pay yourself. Otherwise, you will quickly get the shits with your business. All work, no play is a horrible place to get to. All work, no place, horrible place to get to. So factor that in as well. So that is the very, very simple system I use, Frank, to do that. And then of course, as you continue to grow your product line out, there'll come a point where you'll reach a kind of it's like a plateau in your sales. You'll have found your average daily sales for your product, and let's say, for argument's sake, that it just stays at 5 sales a day. That's the sum total of your product potential for that given niche, is 5 sales per day. If that's the case, that's awesome, because then what that allows you to do is to figure out how much of that money that you're making you can then allocate to other products. And so as soon as you can, you start taking your profits from your initial product and you start investing them in your second product. And so that's how you build your business, your Amazon business. You do it in a very, very safe and consistent fashion, Frank. That's what you do. It's a very, very cool thing to do. Now, again, in most situations, that does not happen overnight. That also, of course, tells us the more money you've got, the faster you can do that. And that's just obvious. That's obvious for all businesses, not just an Amazon business. But the more money you have, the faster you can grow your business. But I also know people like Kate Ingram, for instance, who started with $250 of stock and grew that to $32,000 per month. In 4 months, I think she grew that. So you can build these businesses very big, very quickly with the right products too. Hope that makes sense. Bob, so Neil, would you also have to take out tax out of the 1,500? Well, I'm not going to talk about tax, but here's the deal with tax. You only pay tax. So there's 2 kinds of tax, remember. Well, there's heaps of different taxes, but there's 2 kinds of tax that most people think about. Tax number 1 is company tax. So that's the tax that your company pays on declared profits. Notice that word, declared. Declared profits, all right? So that's one tax. The other tax, of course, is your personal tax, and that's the tax that you personally pay on the money you pay yourself. So that 10%, if you personally pay it to yourself, then you would personally pay tax on it. If you personally pay it into a corporation in Singapore, for instance, Hong Kong, for instance, places like that, then you don't pay any tax on it. So I don't know what your tax situation is. I don't want to get into tax conversations. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video, and I hope that you got some massive value from it. Before you go, do you live in Australia? If you do, this is for you. Would you like to learn how to sell things on Amazon here in Australia? Would you like to know what sells really, really well and what sells for the maximum amount of profit? Would you like to know where you can source those products from, whether that be in China or here in Australia, and how to source them so you pay bottom dollar and get maximum value for what you're doing? If you do, please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and you'll learn that and much more. It's the exact same information that people like Jeff from New South Wales have used to make $45,000 a month on Amazon, that Sue, who's from the sunny coast, has used to purchase herself a brand spankly BMW every single year as a result of her e-commerce business, and the lovely Kate from Bowral in New South Wales has used to make $32,000 a year on, a month, not a year, a month on Amazon, and indeed Anthony, who makes $15,000 a month on Amazon, selling, as he puts it, odds and sods. If you'd like to learn the exact same information that they use to maximize their profits for their Amazon businesses, subscribe to this video, like my channel, post below if you want me to teach you something. Okay, I'm out of here. Speak to you soon. Bye. Subscribe. Do it now.